Now, on one hand, at this point, there is an indult that I know the American bishops and some of the other bishops' conferences, but not all bishops' conferences in the world, but some of them, like the Americans, have, gotten permission to allow communion in the hand. So it's not something that people are doing in disobedience at this stage. They're doing it with that indult. But you're saying, you're more saying, let's call ourselves to a greater sense of worship and show signs of adoration as we come to receive Holy Communion.
Yes, I would say not some conferences, almost all conferences in the world already ask this indult for communion in hand. Mm-hmm. It's sad. Mm-hmm. It is very sad.
Yeah.
But the issue is not this. The issue is the arguments. The situation objectively is really problematic. Mm-hmm. It is the Lord at the stake, His honor.
Yes.
And we have not to deal in first with laws or licit.
Right.
Even it is licit. But it is showing objectively that this permission is damaging the honor of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And the faith. And therefore, I am speaking to help also the faithful and the brother bishops to start to reflect, because the Pope already changed for him. Mm-hmm. This is a sign.
Yes.
And why not the bishops? Mm-hmm. And therefore we are speaking about this. We have to start in the church open discussion about this issue without taboos.
Right.
It is, but in the history of the church, there were also some things which were allowed and licit, but which after were revealed them as damage.
Yeah, and on reflection, they were permitted at a certain time, but later reflection, showed that this was not accomplishing what they may have intended, and had some, secondary effects that were not really fitting into the faith.
Yes. And so I think it is time for all the church, and we have to, when we really believe what is the Lord, who is the Lord, who is the sacred host. I say who is the sacred host, not what is the sacred host. Who is the sacred host? And when we take the consequence ultimately in the depth of this reality, I cannot imagine that we will be content with this situation of communion in hand and standing. It is impossible.